Hey, what's going on, family? And in today's video, man, I want to talk about, should you be investing your money or should you be paying down debt? All right, y'all. So I know, man, majority of the people who's, they trying to change their life, they trying to change their financial state. Most people have a lot of debt right now. We have a debt crisis. Many people got, car loans and credit cards, mortgages, student loans. We also was getting thrown in our face ways to flip money, make this, invest here, invest this, and you kind of feel like you stuck in between the two on what should I focus on, paying off debt, or should I focus on, investing, whether that's real estate, whether that's stocks, or whatever the case may be. The answer to that question is not a one size fits all type of approach. And what I mean by that is, if you somebody who got 20 credit cards with 20 plus interest on each credit card and they all maxed out, your situation is different than somebody who their debt might only be they trying to pay off a house, they own a property and they just trying to pay off their house. That's two different situations. And that's two different situations because somebody who has all that debt as far as their credit card goes is, with that high amount of limit, man, it's going to be extremely hard to invest money anywhere. The money you do make is getting eaten up by the interest from the credit cards if you are paying your credit cards off or trying to. Whereas though the person who is trying to pay off their house before they start investing, where interest rate on the house is fairly low in the grand scheme of things, 3, 4, 5, 6, now maybe 7%. Whereas though it might make more sense for you to go ahead and invest. But whatever decision you make, first and foremost, the first thing you definitely got to do is definitely put aside some type of emergency fund, a couple $1,000s before you start investing, or even before you start a debt payoff journey. You want to have money set aside so that if shit do hit the fan, if you're starting to pay off debt and you don't have money set aside in the event an emergency happens, now you gotta pause paying off your debt, and it just messes up your momentum. Same thing with investing. So first and foremost, I always say, man, put away, and this also can change depending on your circumstances, but between $1,000 to like $5,000, have that put aside for an emergency before you start investing and paying off debt. Back to which way might be better for you. If you are a person who have a lot of consumer debt, credit card debt, car loans, stuff like that, I would get rid of the credit card debt first, man. Again, it's gonna be hard to invest in anything when your credit card debt is killing you. And there's so many ways now for y'all to easily pay off debt rather quicker. Of course, right, everybody here should have some type of job, some type of income. So between your job and picking up side hustles like Uber, DoorDash, things of that nature, that's the period where you need to just buckle down and pay off your credit card debt. Now, I don't treat student loans and mortgages the same way I treat credit card debt. Credit card debt is one of those things where I gotta get rid of it ASAP. Unless you had a credit card that's extremely low in interest, which is rare, and your interest rate is 15 plus for your credit cards, man, get rid of that first. For your vehicle, right? Just depends, right? If you have a vehicle that's not super expensive, the car note is not super expensive every month, you might be paying $200 a month and your interest rate on your car maybe 3-4%. I wouldn't trip on that. But it's more so the credit cards. Let's use a person who may be trying to pay off their house. They're trying to pay off their mortgage, but they don't know if they should pay off their mortgage or they should invest. Let's use the stock market, right? Let's use the S&P 500, for example. So over time, over history, the S&P usually pays a 10% annual rate of return on your money. If somebody purchased a house, let's say in 2020, 2021, and the interest rate is, 3%, right? All right, y'all, so I wrote out some numbers to give us some accurate picture of what make more sense, to pay off your house or to go ahead and invest in the S&P 500, which is the stock market. So a house that costs $350,000 at a 4% interest rate, the mortgage payment is between $1,700, right? Let's just use like $1,650, for example. That's their mortgage payment. And they wanna go ahead and they wanna pay off their mortgage fast so that they can start investing instead of investing and paying a mortgage at the same time. Let's say they got an extra $1,000 a month that they got from their job or a side hustle, whatever the case may be, and they put that extra $1,000 towards the principal of paying off the $350,000 house. So what's going to happen is it's going to take them about 14 years and 5 months to go ahead and pay off that house. And during that 14 years and 5 months, they're going to end up paying about $110,000 of interest towards that house, which is not a lot considering they paid it off in only 14 years. Now, right, so after the house is paid off, so now not only do they got that $1,650 a month, but now they got an additional $1,000 in which they can start investing. They have about $2,500 now that they actually can use to invest in the S&P 500. Let's say that they took that $2,500 and with another 15 years and 7 months, because this is a 30-year mortgage. So the mortgage is paid off in 14 years, and now they're gonna, for the next 15 years and 7 months, they're gonna take that $2,500 and invest it in the stock market. And at the end of 30 years, and I'm including paying off the house and also investing into the S&P 500, they're gonna have about 1.2 million invested inside their stock portfolio. 1.2 million, which is, a good amount. So let's move on to the next person. So for the next person, right, they decided they're not going to pay off their house fast. They're going to keep it at $1,650 a month, and they're going to go ahead and just start investing immediately for 30 years, right? The $1,000. So they got an extra $1,000 too, and they're going to go ahead and start investing the $1,000 every month for 30 years. And this is the difference, right? So the person who decided to start investing right away, of course, they're going to pay a lot more money in interest on that house. $251,000 worth of interest towards that house for 30 years. However, in their stock portfolio, they're going to have $2.1 million because they started investing a lot sooner. They're going to have close to an extra $1 million that they have just by doing both. Like I said, this is not a one size fits all approach. You gotta really, spell out everything you owe and look at the interest rates in which you owe. And if you are an investor who know what they're doing, and it don't gotta be the stock market. That was just an example. And then y'all look, we gotta look at the other things, right? That we can't really write down. And that's really what kind of person are you? I'm a bigger risk taker when it comes to investing over paying off debt. I know how to go make large lump sums of money. I'm not gonna sit there and try to pay off a house or pay off some student loans and take 5, 10, 15, whatever, how many years it take, when I know I can do a fix and flip on a property and get a quick 80 grand to pay it all off in a year. But again, that's a skill set that I have, which brings me to my next point. In my opinion, man, investing into yourself and building a skill set that will allow you to make a lot of money is the answer, in my opinion. Now, it's not the textbook answer. If you ask Dave Ramsey, he'll probably say I'm a fool. But for me, I really will hone in on a skill set, man, that can help you make money no matter what the situation is. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, throughout life, you're always gonna find yourself, in and out of shit, man. Owing money, coming across a lot of money. Owing money, and it never stops. It's like a cycle. So just having that skill set gives me a peace of mind knowing that, all right, I jam myself up, I owe such and such to the IRS, I owe such and such to this person, I owe such and such to the bank. I know I can bust my ass, lock in, and go make a quick 50K, 100K to take care of those situations. For me, that's more comfortable than sitting down trying to pay off debt. And y'all, in my opinion, man, life not long enough for me to be sitting there trying to pay off debt, because most of us, once we reach adulthood, we start off in the hole, especially if you went to college and you didn't have, a strong financial background with your parents and everything. We usually starting from behind. It was extremely hard for me to sit down and just pay off debt and eat ramen noodles every day. It's a depressed life to live, and that's a lot of people I see living that life, and they trying to decide what direction to go. And my answer to y'all, lock in for 6 months, man, build a skill set, whereas though you can come across large chunks of money to get out of debt a lot faster. So I hope this video helped. I know it was mad random, but I hear a lot of people talking about it, and I just wanted to help you guys out. Whatever decision you decide to make, man, make sure it's a decision you feel good with. You feel good in your gut about, man. So that's all I gotta say on this video. I'll see y'all on the next one, man. Let's get it.